So like most good stories, our story here at Chainline started over a pint of craft beer. At the time, my wife and I were living in downtown Seattle, in one of the many little neighborhoods that exist here in Seattle. And my wife suggested, well, you do so much home brewing already, why don't you, have you ever thought about making that, making a career out of that? And honestly, I until that point, I hadn't, and it was a light bulb moment, and I don't know why. Because of course it was a perfect fit. It combines many of my passions: science, art, all of the things that I was missing and lacking in my life were kind of came together at one moment in my life, and that's where the idea for Chainline was born. Once I got back from Vermont, I started brewing in my garage, and I was brewing on a half barrel size system, so we made about 15 gallons of beer at a time. Really just a glorified home brewing setup. Most of those beers are still being made today. Times change, tastes change, so we have dropped some, we've added some along the way. But those core beers, including our Pilsner, are still being made today. And in that first year, we actually won our first major award at the Great American Beer Festival with our Pilsner. And that set the trajectory for the following years, where our main problem was being able to make enough beer. So in 2018, we laid plans down for a much larger production facility, as well as the new taproom that you see behind me. We were able to make a lot more beer and be able to expand our footprint, not only here in the greater Seattle area, but all through Western Washington, and now all the way over Eastern Washington to the far reaches of the state. And at this point, we are expanding and growing and adding tanks to be able to keep up with the demand that seems to just keep growing. And this past year, we had expanded our distribution across the state and internationally, including Japan and now, luckily, the Philippines. So thank you guys, and I hope you love our beer.